morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on After GMS. We are streaming live on YouTube right now. So glad you could join us for Thursday, September 22nd. I'm Tracy McCain, here with meteorologist Christian Morgan and our Megan Malaris.
It is not just an ordinary Thursday,
No.
is it? No, it is soon to be fall, y'all, at 9-something tonight.
9:03 p.m. to be exact.
Okay.
What are you going to be doing at 9:03?
Probably in a bed.
I hope so. I know I will
Smart
be.
choice.
You can't really watch fall come in.
Right,
You can't
exactly.
watch
Feel it,
but
though, today.
You will be able to feel it
Pretty
too.
cool.
Nice transition. Speaking of transitions.
How about this? Let's do a little right there. It's terrible. Final few hours of summer here, and it will feel exactly like it. Mid-60s to upper 60s out the door this morning across the Piedmont. We're near 70 down to the south. Take a look off to the north and west, though, where the cold front has already made progress. 62 in St. Louis this morning, 57 Kansas City, 54 Chicago. A little more influenced now by the cold air. 48 in Minneapolis, 54 Omaha, 48 in Rapid City, South Dakota this morning. All that cool, dry air is headed our way with this cold front as it brings it by heading into this evening. Now, there's not a lot of moisture with this cold front, but it may be just enough to give us a stray shower or a storm this afternoon, but I would not hedge my bets on that. I think that most of us are going to end up staying dry. Once that front moves by, too, high pressure starts to build in. You will feel the cool, dry air rushing in fast. And really, it starts to arrive just about the time that fall begins at 9:03 this evening. Dew points before that in the mid and upper 60s this afternoon. Humidity will crash with dew points falling into the upper 30s and low 40s. By the time you wake up on Friday morning. That's dew point, not temperature. We're not there just yet. For today, partly sunny. We're up around 90 degrees. Bit of a breezy day of weather, too. We could easily have some gusts today on the order of 25 to 30 miles per hour. And honestly, I don't think I've talked enough about that in the last couple days. It'll be a bit windy today. And though that breeze will carry over into your Friday as well. Meanwhile, down in the tropics, we do have Hurricane Fiona, still a strong Category 4 storm with 130 mile per hour winds, about 500 miles southwest of Bermuda. And even though it's not going to cause direct impacts along the East Coast, it will bring strong, dangerous rip currents to the Carolina coast over the next few days. So keep that in mind if you're at or headed to the beaches. Probably best just to stay on land and out of the water. Meanwhile, Tropical Storm Gaston in the North Atlantic, not an issue for us. Two other areas coming off the African coast that we'll keep an eye on, but the quickest thing we need to keep an eye on is an area, still a disturbance. Storm hasn't even formed yet, but that's moving into the Caribbean Sea over the next few days. It will soon become Tropical Storm Hermine, and as it does, pretty good idea that it's going to track into the Caribbean Sea and then eventually into the Gulf of Mexico. But once we get there, once we get into the middle of next week, models are kind of all over the place. There are a lot of different solutions to where this storm could go. And remember, it has not formed yet. So it could go into the Gulf and track up along the east coast of the United States. It could stay offshore, stay out to ocean, turn back out to sea, or it could come a little further inland into places like Texas or Louisiana or Mississippi. Those are all still possibilities on the table. We're still 7 to 10 days out likely from this thing or even knowing exactly what the track will be. So at this point, I say there is no cause for concern. You're going to see a lot of hype on the internet over the next few days, but do not believe it. There are no guarantees, and there's really no forecast to exactly how this next system is going to play out because I reiterate again, it has not even formed yet. If it is to be of concern, of course, we're going to let you know that here in the Weather Department at News 2. In the meantime, hot and muggy today. Full cool fall weather arrives heading into your Friday with a cool morning in the low 50s. 71 for your Friday afternoon. I think a lot of us will drop down into the upper 40s by Saturday morning with mid-70s Saturday afternoon. We're near 80 on Sunday. Another cold front will head our way late Sunday night into early on Monday, which could bring us a late night shower Sunday or an early morning shower on Monday. But after that, fall weather's here for a while.
Nice. And no rain.
And no rain, really.
Still.
I mean, it's crazy. We're in one of our top 5 driest periods of the year so far. We're at about 11 days now of completely dry weather. And when you talk about it being hot and you talk about fall with this super dry air, it doesn't take long for things to start to dry out. So we really could use some rain.
Yeah.
So, if folks get a shower late Sunday night or you get one maybe Monday morning, it'll probably be beneficial to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we planted our mums a couple days ago, and when I went to water them yesterday, after not doing so for a couple days, they were really dry.
Yeah, it's water.
Hope they survive. All right, well, shorter days are kind of coming with the territory with fall. Daylight saving time does not end until November 6th, but already you're noticing those earlier sunsets, earlier sunrises. So, Christian, can you explain what's happening in the Earth's rotation with this autumn equinox?
Yeah, so this is the fall equinox or the autumnal equinox, whichever one you want to call it. So that's when fall officially happens. So at 9:03 p.m., if we're being exact, if we're being technical about it, which we have to be in this sense, is when fall will actually begin. So at that point is when the tilt of the Earth is actually perpendicular to the way that the sun rays are hitting the Earth's surface. So at this point, we get about 12 hours of dark and 12 hours of light in the North Pole, and the same goes for the South Pole as well. For us, as we start the coolest period of the year, as we start that transition to cool, the Southern Hemisphere is doing the opposite. They're actually starting their transition to their warmest point of the year. So we start fall and they start spring in the Southern Hemisphere. But it all has to do with the way the Earth is tilted. You know, we have 2 equinoxes a year. We have the fall equinox and then we have the spring equinox. And then there are solstices. We have the summer solstice and then we have the winter solstice, which kind of work the same way. But the equinoxes are really those transitional periods.
All right, well, that's a great explanation, especially as we start to experience those shorter days when daylight saving time kind of kicks in. So I don't know about you guys, but fall to me just screams like sweater weather. It screams apple, cinnamon, like spice, pumpkin patches, and all things cooler weather. So I'm glad it's heading in that direction.
So I was talking to one of our producers a few minutes ago before we started the show, and she said every morning for the last 2 weeks I've walked out of the house with fall clothes on, just to hope that it feels like fall, and then by lunch I go home and change. And so yesterday afternoon I bought, just again in preparation, I bought a new hoodie, I bought a new shirt, bought me some fall clothes. I'm ready to go. Like, let's go. I'm ready to wear it now.
Me too.
Just wishful thinking here, but it is on the way.
Right.
I mean, retailers, though, as soon as it officially is fall, they're like, deck the halls, and they have all the Christmas stuff out, you know?
Hobby Lobby already has their Christmas stuff out.
Exactly. So they're always one step
stores.
ahead of the official season at hand.
Exactly. Which is why if you want to save on summer clothes, get them now for next year.
Get them now.
Exactly. I have got a shipment coming in.
Good for you.
Should be here by Friday. But won't be able to wear it. I don't even want to. It'll just motivate me to stay the same size for the next year.
Next summer.
Motivation.
Motivation, exactly.
All right, we've been talking kind of amongst ourselves, and those of you on YouTube, if you want to go ahead and type a comment on Facebook so we can see it, we're trying to navigate this tech issue this morning. We're talking about what you're excited about for fall. I'm excited for pumpkin picking with the kids this year. It's funny, my son has an interest in the color yellow. So pumpkins are orange, but when we went to the pumpkin patch last year, somehow he found some very large yellow gourd, and that was the pumpkin we had to take home. The yellow pumpkin ended up outliving the orange one, so.
Also, word of advice, if you don't want pumpkins in your yard, don't throw your pumpkin out on the edge of the woods, because it will grow. You will see a new pumpkin there next year. Been there, done that.
That's awesome, actually. That's a great experiment.
You know, once they decompose, a lot of people just will toss them out in the edge of the woods, and if you leave it there, you're going to have another pumpkin next year.
Just one?
I only got one.
Okay.
My crop was not very plentiful.
I was just wondering, because I think I'll try that with Josiah.
I forgot that I had done that, and I said, what is that growing in the edge of the woods?
Funny.
And I was like, that's a doggone pumpkin.
You're like, oh, by the way, last year. That's right.
Oh, yeah, I did throw that out there
Exactly.
last year.
Normally the wildlife get them, though. We do that too, and then we never see them
Normally
again.
the deer will get them before they're...
Don't like your pumpkin.
Something
Sorry
to
about
try. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on. We have lots of headlines to get to.
Yeah, unfortunately, some serious news here. Greensboro police have increased their reward money for information in an unsolved murder case. 32-year-old Ivana Wilkes died last month. Police still don't have any suspects, and they're offering $10,000 for information leading to an arrest in that case. A judge has ordered a retrial for a Davidson County murder case that garnered global attention, even an episode on 48 Hours. Back in 2015, father and daughter Tom Martins and Molly Corbett received a sentence in the death of Jason Corbett, who was Molly Corbett's husband. Prosecutors accused the father and daughter of beating Jason Corbett to death, but a judge threw out those convictions, citing errors in due process. A retrial is set for June 26th next year.
Well, today, several tribe leaders will head to the White House. They were discussing their approach to using COVID relief money. Among those invited are Greensboro Mayor Nancy Vaughn, Guilford County Commission Chair Skip Alston, and Winston-Salem Mayor Alan Joines. They will join leaders from several other North Carolina communities, all sharing how the federal money impacted local government.
Midterm elections are less than a month away now. You might want to check your voter status because, less than 2 months away. I'm ahead of myself.
It's okay.
We were just talking about fall and I'm thinking October. But no,
don't worry about
you're right.
it.
It's
We all
September
understand.
and election day is November. All right, so you might want to check your voter status. Nonetheless, states periodically purge their polls as required by state and federal law.
So names can be removed off of those rolls if you have not voted in 2 federal election cycles, or if maybe you moved to another state. You can go to your County Board of Elections website and type in your information in the voter search tool to get that information, or just stop by your local voter registration office.
Lots of options here, but the deadlines are very important. The deadline to register to vote, October 14th. The one-stop early voting period runs from October 20th through November 5th, and Election Day is Tuesday, November 8th. You cannot register to vote on Election Day. Keep that in mind.
Mental Health Greensboro recently merged with the Cullen Foundation to help provide even more mental health resources for people in Guilford County.
And tonight there is a celebration concert for the community to raise awareness. WFMY News 2's Denise McMiller is live at Center City Park, where the fun gets started later today.
The Cullen Foundation wants the entire community to come out and celebrate destigmatizing mental health. In just a short few years, they have helped people living right here in Guilford County overcome struggles with mental health. In fact, it's been 13,000 people that they have helped so far. The benefit concert and celebration starts tonight at 6. It's free, but donations are welcome. It will allow them to fill the growing need for free trauma-informed behavioral health services for people of all ages.
The bad news is there's such a need, and the need has grown even longer, and we have wait lists for services even now. And so we're working really hard to expand access.
Right now, there are about 100 people on the wait list. Some include children. The co-founder says their merge with Mental Health Greensboro earlier this year is one way they're working to expand access.
And that merger has really allowed us to provide more integrated care, from peer support, counseling, case management, all together under one roof, which we would not have been able to do as broadly before.
And the Cullen Foundation is hoping to raise $35,000 tonight. It'll help them to hire more staff and meet the need here in our community.
All right, one more check on that forecast. Happy first day of fall. Not technically yet. 9:03 p.m. tonight. Okay, I got to be exact about it. Still the final few hours of fall. I mean, summer. Gosh, see, I'm all messed up now. It's still summer for a little bit, all right? At least until this evening. 89 degrees. We're up around 90. Maybe a stray shower or storm, but I think most of us stay dry today. We'll take about a 40-degree temperature drop by tomorrow morning. Coolest morning since May 11th is likely tomorrow for your Friday. We'll warm up into the low 70s for Friday afternoon. That's a nice day of weather. Cool upper 40s Saturday morning, mid 70s for the afternoon. We're back up around 80 on Sunday, but another cold front will keep the fall weather here for the long term.
Yay!
We like that, don't we?
I definitely do. I feel like the season should feel like the season.
Right, it should.
You know?
And it arrives pretty much right on time.
That's pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
It is, and it stays. It's not just a fluke. So
No, it stays around
it's pretty
for a
cool
while
that
now.
happened.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for spending part of your morning here with us live on YouTube.
We will check you out tomorrow for After GMS at 7:45. And if you have a moment, check us out on the Good Morning Show at 9. It's a great show.
Sure is.
And we have a lot of fun.
Way too much.
We hope to see you there. Take care.